Good morning, everybody. I am Teacher Jarrett, and today we are going to learn more about, Today we are going to learn more about animals and the community that they live in, okay? So you remember last lesson we learned about the forest and animals that live in the forest, right? And the lesson before that, we learned about the pond and the animals that live in and around the pond, right? So today, we are going to learn about a specific type of animal, all right? So before we learned about places, but now we're going to learn about one specific animal, okay? Can anyone guess what animal that is? It's right here. If you know, raise your hand. Okay, I want you to tell me, what is the name of the animal we will be learning about? The meerkat. Yes, we are going to be learning about the meerkat and its family. So the title of this story is Meerkat Family, and the author is, who knows? If you know, raise your hand. Okay, I want you to tell me, what's the name of the author? I'm listening. Donna Loughren. Yeah, very good. So let's read all of this together, okay? Nonfiction. Meerkat Family by Donna Loughren. All right, so let's go to the next page. Okay, so this is going to tell us about the story we are going to read, okay? So, genre, nonfiction, essential question. Where do animals live together? Meerkat Family by Donna Loughren. Paired read, that means a reading that we can read with this story. Poetry, I live in a house. Okay, let's read all of this together. Genre, nonfiction, essential question. Where do animals live together? Meerkat Family by Donna Loughren. Paired read, poetry, I live in a house. Okay, so let's go to the next page. Meet the meerkat family. They live in Africa. Aren't they cute? So here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meerkats, right? And Africa is a continent. Do you know where Africa is? It's south of Europe. So if you have Europe, and you have Africa right underneath it, right? All right, so let's read this together. Meet the meerkat family. They live in Africa. Aren't they cute? Yeah, they're very cute. Meerkats have spotted fur. Their noses are ink black. They have a dark mask around their bright eyes. So you see the spots. Let's see here. You can see there's a spot, there's a spot. Their noses are black, and they have a dark mask around their eyes. Do you see that? Yeah. It's like they put a little mask on their eyes. So let's read this together now. Meerkats have spotted fur. Their noses are ink black. They have a dark mask around their bright eyes. Wow. All right. See the meerkats sit up? They have long tails that help them stand. What do these meerkats see? It may be a bird. So see how the meerkat is sitting up? There's one leg, two legs, and its tail is helping it sit straight up, right? And what are they looking at? Maybe they see a bird flying up above. See that? All right, let's read this together. See the meerkats sit up? They have long tails that help them stand. What do these meerkats see? It may be a bird. Wow. So if they see a bird, they should be careful, right? Because they're kind of small. So if there's a big bird, it can come and grab them and fly away, right? So they need to be always looking for other animals, right? Okay. Some birds hunt meerkats for food. That's what we were just saying. So some birds will come down and grab the meerkat and fly away with it, right? The meerkats keep watch. Meerkats hunt for food too. They eat bugs and plants. They eat small animals too. Wow. Okay, so let's read this together. Some birds hunt meerkats for food. The meerkats keep watch. Meerkats hunt for food too. They eat bugs and plants. They eat small animals too. Wow. So we can see here is a meerkat eating a plant and a bug and a little animal, right? All right, let's go to the next page. Can you close your ears? No, meerkats can. Wow. This keeps out the desert sand. So our ears are always open, right? If we do this, then we can close our ears, right? But a meerkat can automatically close their ears. So they don't use fingers like us, but they can just do boop, and their ears are closed. That's because they live in Africa where there's a lot of sand. So they need to close their ears so the sand doesn't get inside their ears, right? Okay, so let's read this together now. Can you close your ears? No? Meerkats can. This keeps out the desert sand. Wow. Okay. Meerkats dig burrows. A burrow is a home under the ground. So remember, we learned here's the ground. So the meerkats dig, 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 dig. And then they can live underground, okay, in their burrow. So let's read this together now. Meerkats dig burrows. A burrow is a home under the ground. Okay, very good. A burrow has many rooms. It may be hot outside, but the rooms stay cool. So a burrow, dig, 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 dig. They might have one room here, and then they dig, 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 and then they have another room here, and then they dig, 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 and then they have another room here, right? So they might have 3 or 4 or 5 rooms underground in their burrow. So because the burrow is underground, the rooms stay cool, right? So the sun makes the top part of the ground very hot, but the sun can't get under. It has to hit the ground and stop. So the area or the places or the burrows under the ground are always cool. You can do an experiment. If you go outside on a hot day and you pick up some dirt, or you pick up yeah, some dirt or some sand. If you go and pick up some sand, you'll see that the sand on top is dry and hot, but the sand underneath is wet and cold, right? It's the same idea. So let's read this together. A burrow has many rooms. It may be hot outside, but the rooms stay cool. Okay? All right, let's go to the next page. Meerkats rest in burrows. They have their babies there too. Look, here's a lot. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So many meerkat babies. Oh, they're so cute. So they have babies in their burrow. So the babies live underground. Okay? So let's read this together. Meerkats rest in burrows. They have their babies there too. All right. Who takes care of the babies? The adults do. They sit and watch the babies. All right. So when the babies are born, the mother and father sit and watch the babies to make sure they are safe. That's a lot like your mother and father, or maybe your grandmother and grandfather watch you to keep you safe, right? But either way, there's an adult to keep you safe, just like meerkats. All right, let's read this together. Who takes care of the babies? The adults do. They sit and watch the babies. All right, let's go to the next page. The babies learn to hide. They learn to jump and run. They are safe with their meerkat family. All right, so first the babies learn to hide, right? Ready? Let's all hide together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hide! Right? Did you do it? Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Hide! Yeah, just like the baby meerkats. They also learn to jump and run. They are safe with their family because the family protects them, right? So let's read this together. The babies learn to hide. They learn to jump and run. They are safe with their meerkat family. Wow. Now let's go to the next page. Oh, that was the last page. We learned about the babies, right? So now let's go to, yay! We get to retell the story using our chart, right? Very good. All right, well, I will make the chart here. Okay. And we will talk about some details. All right, so first we need the main topic, all right? Oh, silly me. Main topic. So the main topic is what? Well, we see meerkats and more meerkats and more meerkats and more meerkats. So that must mean the main topic is, we'll shout it out on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Meerkats! Right? Yeah, so the main topic is the life of a meerkat family, right? So the main topic is the life of a meerkat family, okay? So now let's go back and look at our story and see what some details are. So we learned they live in Africa, but let's look, oh, here we go. So they have spotted fur and their nose is black and they have a dark mask around their eyes and they have a long tail, right? All right, let's put that in writing. Meerkats have spotted fur, black noses, and a long tail to help them sit up, right? Okay. Oh, let's move this. Okay, move it down. Okay, so we can see that the first detail tells us about what the meerkats look like, right? Their fur, their nose, their tail. Let's go to the next page. So then we learned about what they eat, right? So let's put something down about what they eat. Meerkats eat bugs and plants and small animals. They need to look out for birds who might eat them. All right, so let's go. Oh, this is a long one. All right. Okay, so meerkats eat bugs and plants and small animals, but they need to look out for birds who might want to eat them, right? So let's practice one time. Let's try looking out like a meerkat does. Look out, right? Let's do it together again. Ready? Look out! Yeah, did you do it? Did you feel like a meerkat? Probably, yeah. So we learn they close their ears. Let's talk about this. We learn about how the meerkats live, right? So they dig burrows to stay cool, right? They stay cool. And they have babies in their burrows, right? So let's write that. Meerkats live in burrows underground. The burrows are cool and have many rooms. Their babies there too, right? All right, let's, okay. Okay, so that is everything we learned, right? So let's read this together, okay? So the main topic is the life of a meerkat family. Meerkats have spotted fur, black noses, and a long tail to help them sit up. Meerkats eat bugs and plants and small animals, They need to look out for birds who might eat them. Meerkats live in burrows underground. The burrows are cool and have many rooms. The meerkats have their babies there too. Okay, so let's read this together now. Main topic: the life of a meerkat family. Meerkats have spotted fur, black noses, and a long tail to help them sit up. Meerkats eat bugs and plants and small animals. They need to look out for birds who might eat them. Meerkats live in burrows underground. The burrows are cool and have many rooms. The meerkats have their babies there too. Okay, so good job. We retold the story. So let's move this over here for now, okay? So we can see all the questions. Yeah. Okay, so now let's look at our questions that we have, okay? Okay, so question 1. Look at page 2. Where do the meerkats live? All right, let's go look at page 2. Here's page 2. Meet the meerkat family. They live in Africa. Yeah, very good. So we can say the meerkats live in Africa, right? Very good. Okay, let's go to the next question. Oh. Next question is look at page 9. Where do the meerkats have their babies? So, does anyone remember where they have their babies? We have it down here. Meerkats live in burrows underground. The burrows are cool and have many rooms. The meerkats have their babies there too. So if you know where the meerkats have their babies, raise your hand. Oh, I want you to tell me. Yes, the meerkats have their babies in the burrows, right? Okay. And now our last question is Meerkat Family a pretend story or is it real? And why? Okay, so we're going to move this back here. Okay, and then we're going to answer this question down here. Okay. Okay. Is meerkat family a pretend story or is it real and why? So, what do you think? Do you think it's a pretend story or real? Well, we know it's nonfiction, so it should be real, right? Do you have any other ideas? If you have other ideas, raise your hand. Oh, I want you to give me an answer. It's real because meerkats are real and there are very good. Meerkat family is a real story because meerkats are real and the story has photographs in it, right? All right. So, is Meerkat Family a pretend story or is it real, and why? So Meerkat Family is a real story because meerkats are real and the story has photographs in it, right? Wow, okay, so we answered a lot of questions just now. Let's take some time and read what we answered, okay? Look at page 2. Where do the meerkats live? The meerkats live in Africa. Next question. Look at page 9. Where do the meerkats have their babies? The meerkats have their babies in the burrows. Very good. And our last question, is Meerkat Family a pretend story or is it real, and why? Meerkat Family is a real story because meerkats are real and the story has photographs in it. Wow, very good, everyone. Okay, now if you want to take some time to practice, you can hit pause and practice reading some more. But now we have another story to go and read, okay? So we'll learn even more. So pause if you want to practice. No? Okay. I'm going to keep reading then. All right. So our next story is poetry. So genre poetry. Compare texts. Read about the different places people and animals live. The title of this story is I Live in a House. All right. Here's a little boy. Who is that under the house? Look, I see a little mouse. See my house by the tree? I live there with my family. And so we know that this is a poem because tree and family both rhyme, and house and mouse both rhyme, right? Because they both have the same sound. So let's read all of this together now. Genre, poetry. Compare texts. Read about the different places people and animals live. I live in a house. Who is that under the house? Squeak, squeak. Look, I see a little mouse. See my house by the tree? See, here's the tree, here's his house. I live there with my family. All right, so let's go to the next page. People live in many places. Animals live in wild spaces. Fish swim and live at sea, but I live with my family. So places and spaces rhyme, and sea and family rhyme, right? So we can see the people living in many places, like a houseboat or an apartment building or a hut, right? And animals live in wild spaces, like the trees or under the water. right? All right, let's read this together. People live in many places. Animals live in wild spaces. Fish swim and live at sea, but I live with my family, right? So he lives with his family, his mother and father or grandmother or grandfather. Do you live with your family? I think you do. If you don't, that's okay. But I think most people live with their family, right? If not, you can still be very happy living with your friends or by yourself, right? All right, let's go to the next page. I wish I could sail away to see all the whales at play. Then I'd sail home to see my happy little family. Wow, so he wants to sail away to see the whales. Remember the blue whale? And then he would come home to see his family, right? Because he's happy to be with his mother and sister. All right, let's read this together. I wish I could sail away to see all the whales at play. Then I'd sail home to see my happy little family. Wow. All right, so let's look at this question. Where do animals and people live? So we know that most people live in a house, right? A hut or a house or an apartment building. Very few people live in a tree or live underwater, right? So we know that animals sometimes will have a house, like the meerkat who has a burrow, or the bird that has a nest, right? But a lot of animals don't have houses. The fish who live under the ocean just swim around, and sometimes frogs, right, or newts don't have houses. They just hop around and sleep wherever they want, right? So those are some differences between people and animals and where they live, okay? Now, let's go to focus on science. To find out how and where animals live is our purpose. What to do? Think about animals you see in your neighborhood. Think about where they live. Draw a poster to show where animals in your neighborhood live. Now label the animals in your poster. All right, let's read this together. Focus on science. Purpose. To find out how and where animals live. What to do? Think about animals you see in your neighborhood. Think about where they live. Draw a poster to show where animals in your neighborhood live. Label the animals in your poster. Okay, so if you have trees by your house, maybe you have some birds who live in the trees, right? Or if you have a river or an ocean, maybe there's fish or animals that live in the ocean, right? Or if you live by a desert, maybe there's meerkats or other animals that live in burrows underground, right? So take some time and be like a meerkat and look up, down, and look for some animals, okay? And when you see the animals, try to see if you can tell where they live. Maybe you can see their nest, or maybe you can see their burrow hole, right? If you have a pet dog, then you can draw a house, because that's where your dog lives, right? And he's an animal. So you can draw a poster with a little dog, or a little bird, or a little fish, right? And then you can name all of the animals on your poster, okay? So in our conclusion, we will talk about your poster and tell what it shows. So we don't have time to do that now, but when you draw and finish, you can tell your mother or your father, okay? It's important that you do this, so make sure you do it and look for animals and then tell your mother and father what you saw in English, okay? They want to listen to you too because your English is getting better and better. All right, let's go to our last questions. Literature circles nonfiction think mark. The topic, what is the meerkat family mostly about? All right, let's draw. And then let's answer these questions. What is meerkat family mostly about? All right. So we talked about this before. So let's see if you remember. Do you remember what the story is mostly about? If you know, raise your hand. Okay, I want you to tell me. Yes, the story Meerkat Family is mostly about meerkats, right? Good. The story is mostly about meerkats and how they live. Okay? So now let's go to the next question. What did you learn about how meerkats live? All right, so what did we learn? We learned meerkats eat bugs, right? We learned that meerkats eat bugs. What else did we learn? Where do they live? What is their house like? Yes, they live in burrows. Meerkats live in burrows, right? And what else did we learn? What about meerkat babies? Who takes care of the meerkat babies? We'll shout it out together. Ready? It's adults. 1, 2, 3. Adults take care of the meerkat babies, right? Yeah. Adults take care of the meerkat babies. And now our last question. Where do you live? So if you live in a house, raise your hand. Okay, some people live in a house. If you live in an apartment, raise your hand. Oh, some people live in an apartment. If you live in a houseboat, raise your hand. Oh, I don't know. I saw 1 or 2 people who live in a houseboat. Very cool. So let's put down where we live. We live in an apartment or in a house, right? Okay, so now let's read all of these together. What is Meerkat Family mostly about? The story is mostly about meerkats and how they live. Very good. What did you learn about how meerkats live? We learned that meerkats eat bugs. We learned that meerkats live in burrows. We learned that adults take care of the meerkat babies. Very good. And last, where do you live? We live in an apartment or in a house, right? And some people live in a houseboat too, okay? So we'll ask 2 more questions for today, okay? What type of sentence is this? Is it a telling sentence or a question sentence? Right there. That's a hint. If you think it's a question sentence, raise your hand. Okay, you are right. It is a question sentence, right? We're just reviewing a little bit about question sentences and telling sentences, okay? Now, what is this sentence here? In I live in a house, you read about where different animals live. We can see right here, right? So is this a telling sentence or a question sentence? We'll yell it on 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Telling sentence! Yes, it is a telling sentence. Very good. Okay. So that is all we are going to learn today. All right? And this is the end of our lesson for animals and where animals live together. All right? So we learned a lot about the pond and the forest and meerkats, right? And we learned some new words like under and of, right? And who. So that's all for today. So I'm going to say bye-bye. And I will see you next time. Okay? Next week we'll learn something new. So bye-bye. Bye-bye.